try this out. I haven't ever made one of these videos before, but we'll see how this goes. I got a 2013 Explorer limited edition. Got a couple different codes whenever I pulled them. The original was the rear air distribution damper motor. To Bravo 11 Echo 407. I figured out that code 07 actually means mechanical failure. Then later, after I got into the rear damper motor and actually pulled it, the actuator itself, and I actually heard it move, and it made a very loud clicking noise. Not really clicking, but almost like a grinding noise. Alright, hey, this is definitely my problem. But whenever I did that, my code actually changed to this, the Bravo 1, Bravo 7, 14. So I have the new part here. I pulled the old part off. So we're going to look at that real quick. I'll show you what it looks like inside of there. I already opened it up, so to make this a little bit quicker. Then I'll install the new part that we got from Ford, reinstall it, and see if it clears our codes. So real quickly, if I can get this thing separated with one hand here. Alright, so I have it separated now, the two halves. They just unclip, pretty basic. And that is definitely our issue. That should be flat. Those metal prongs line up on those different metal contacts on that circuit board to let the motor and the sensor know where it's at when it's there. And so that's definitely not the way it's supposed to be. So we'll take our new part here from Ford and put that in and see if it fixes our problem. Alright, so we're in the back, if you can't tell, in the back driver's side of the Ford Explorer. This is where the blend motor is going to live, or lives, should say. Do know that it is not to be confused with the temperature blend motor there. Make it so y'all can try to see here. They're not to confuse the two, to know which one you're going for if you're having this same problem. Blend motor just moved. Pretty simple. 2 screws. Let it focus there. 2 screws, put it in. 1 connector. Pretty simple. Let me get it lined up here. So on this actuator, you can't actually turn it by hand whenever it's not energized. You can't actually, if you try to turn it by hand, you probably damage it. It's pretty stiff whenever you... I just dropped that. That sucks. If you try to move it, probably not gonna help you any. Alright. Just has to be hand tight, don't have to be crazy wrench down. I have this on a wrench, a ratchet, but just barely more than hand tight, and it'll stay there. These screws into plastic, you strip them out real easy. Alright, so that's hooked back up. Hook our connector back up. I'm moving y'all around like crazy. That should be good to go. Alright, we'll verify. We'll verify the fix, and then we'll put it all back together. Alright, so getting the Altel powered up here. Let's see here, control unit. We'll have to go in and run a test. It's weird watching this on from the, that's not what I wanted. HVAC. You'll hear it kind of going through and moving some of the motors and different things like that whenever you go into this portion of it, at least on this vehicle. Alright, so we have a rear distribution damper motor and a rear distribution actuator. So those were the two different kinds of codes that we had previously. So let's erase these codes. Hopefully this should clear a problem, or else I'm not going to be making this video. Alright, no fault codes detected. So everything should work good now. So just so everybody, you understand what the issue was previously, that blend door motor, basically whenever you're transitioning from wanting the air front coming from up top or down at your feet, it couldn't do that. That motor was out. So that was where our problem was. So now that we got that fixed, it's good to go. Alright, my camera kind of shut off on me. Just using my phone, so my battery died, so I couldn't really show you putting that panel back in place. But very simple process, pops right in. Some of the tools I use, very basic, just your panel kind of pry tools like this, so you don't damage the stuff. Claw bar if you want to. 13 mil. I used a little swivel extension. Don't have to, makes it easier. And a T20 Torx bit for the actual actuator motor. Other than that, and the actual scan tool, the only thing I use tool wise, I use the Altel, the MX808. It's a very cheaper version. I just recently got it. I bought it for $380 as compared to like the MD or the MX 908 or the MD 902, 908. Those are upwards $1,300, $1,500, $2,500, $100 scan tools. This is not what I do for a living. I'm not going to make money off of this stuff. So I don't have money to spend on a $2,500 scan tool, and I'm not going to make any money back off of it. The codes that I had, I showed both of them to you earlier. I'll put them down in the remarks. But Bravo 11, Echo 407 initially, that was for the distribution damper motor. And then whenever I actually took the actuator motor off of the assembly, not even disconnected it, just disconnected it from the actual blend door inside the entire assembly, the code actually changed to a rear air distribution actuator. It's possible you could get either one of those codes, and the last digits of those 07 and 14, those can change depending upon the error that it's reading in your circuit going to that blend door actuator. Part numbers. So part number for the rear right here, I'll see if I can get that up there where you can see it. And one note, don't order the wrong thing. I use Mitchell 1 and DIY, pretty cheap little thing, goes through, gives you a lot of information. That's where I get all my wiring diagrams. And one of the part numbers that it gives for this part is 19 Echo 616, which you don't see on here, but on here you might be able to see it. There you go. You can. Well, that's an assembly number. That's not a part number. So all 7, 6, 7, 8, ever how many actuator motors there are on that car all have that assembly number. Well, most of them at least have that assembly number, but not all the same part number. The actual part number is that Yankee Hotel 1819 or 1889 that you see down at the bottom of that. That was the actual part number. So if you're needing that rear door actuator motor, that's your part number. Don't get that confused with the front blend door actuators, because the part numbers are different. Part numbers, tools I used, codes. That was pretty much it. I think that pretty well closes it out. A shout out to the guys that actually do this stuff and make me look completely dumb other than my own doing. South Main Auto, Ivan, Ford Makalaku, all those guys on YouTube. Shout out to them, because they make this stuff look real easy. And now that I'm doing it for the very first time, just out of boredom, they make me feel completely dumb seeing myself. So shout out to those guys for doing what they do and doing this way more than I do, because it's not easy. Leave a thumbs up. If it didn't, tell me why it didn't. Tell me what I left out that you needed, that you can't find out there on the wonders of YouTube. Hopefully y'all don't beat me up too much for my shoddy camera work. Hopefully this helped y'all.